I think everybody has a gift, a knack, and it's special when you can identify what your gifts are. My name is Thomas B. McIntyre Sr., and I'm running for the City of Valdosta District 3 City Councilman position. A lot of people know me as B. I've been here a long time. I've lived on every side of town. When you vote for somebody, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have a personal relationship with that candidate. So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to call a town meeting, and the meeting is going to be for the people. It's not for me. Anyone have the opportunity to ask me questions, but I'm going to put from my birth certificate all the way up, all my documents are going to be laid out all the way up to the present. So I'm going to do 10 to 15 years of taxes, my birth certificate, my military service record. So each one of my discharges, you'll be able to see that I had an honorable discharge and what my terms of service was. You'll be able to see where I was born. You'll be able to see my income taxes, so you know what income I have had. I'm by no means perfect, but I think when you come out of the shadows and into the spotlight and you expect to be a leader, then you have to be a little more forthcoming about your past. Our history through life tells a story. And so if you don't know me, a good gauge of who I am is gonna be me telling you, here I am, right here on the table. Here's the proof, go look at it. As I was building yachts for Regal Marine, it just got to the point to where, and I made great money. I made maybe about $25,000 more then than I make now. And but it wasn't the money for me. I was missing something. There was something else I needed to do. And so I'm somebody that believes that you should go with your gut. So I actually quit that job and went to school. I signed up for Wiregrass, computers, their computer support, and network administration. I also signed up at BSU for their technical program, which they changed the degree to Human Capital Performance. It's a Bachelor of Science, which is basically still a degree in technical management. I ended up within 5 years obtaining 4 degrees. I'm no stranger to trials and tribulations, and you know, I tell people all the time that a lot of people can, when they have a heart for the people around them, that they can sympathize with them. I empathize with people because, you know, when a woman comes up to me and she's saying that it's so hard to make ends meet as a single parent, I understand totally, because I'm still a single parent. In the last 30 years, the north side of town has seen huge economic development. Well, that's just 25% of the city. The other 75% of the city, east side, south side, and west side, because I've lived on all sides of town over the last 30 years, it has been economically and developmentally stagnant. It looks exactly the same as when I got here in 1988, and that's a problem. Once you start to develop an area like that, it'll help you economically. It starts to resolve a lot of your other problems. It brings people together. Parks bring people together. While you're sitting there, you get to know your neighbor. Whereas before, you could get to know your neighbor. Everybody played on the street. Well, they're not doing that anymore. So we have to develop areas to where they're magnets for communing, for people to get together. And a lot of the diversity that we do have, you know, intermingling will get me to know that person across the street that I thought, you know, maybe I didn't want to talk to or deal with. I had some preconceived notions about them. You figure out that they're just human. We have got to get out and vote. People have got to express their opinions. With 10,000 people in District 3, there's only 2,344 registered voters. In the last election, there was only 512 people that voted. And that is a terrible statistic. People need things, they need assistance, they need to know what to do and who to go to. when they want to assist other people, and it's important that the correct people be in the correct place at the right time, and the citizens make that happen through voting.
Someone asked me, what could I do for the individual in District 3? And I had to think about that, but I didn't have to think long. One of the things that I want to do is have an impact on an entire family. Now, how can I do that? I'll use myself as an example. About 5 years ago, and this is after I graduated from VSU, I moved out of my apartment and I moved into the house I'm currently in. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that I'm currently buying. But I started renting first. So my rent when I first moved in was $498 a month. And it was part of the VHA housing program through HUD. So what they are doing is offering people who are renting and who are qualifying or close to qualifying, and they have moderate incomes, and by moderate I mean around $18,000 to maybe $28,000 annually. They're allowing them to go from renting to home buyers, to purchasing the homes that they currently are in. So what I did first is when I moved into that house, my rent was $498. So I worked on my credit. I was pretty good at doing this because I had to do it in the past. And this is one of the reasons why I was offered a position on the HUD board. But consequently, about a year later, when I qualified, the bank said that they were ready to go to the closing table. I went to the closing table, I put no money down, and after I walked away, my mortgage was $290 versus having a rent of $498. Now, that's a tremendous difference. Now, I did have to pay an extra $100 a month for an escrow, and escrow is basically just the insurance that you have to maintain if you're a homeowner. So the combination of the two, $390. That's about $100 a month savings. So this person also said, when I explained this, they said that the government will take your house, or the city will change their mind, the banks will come back, and I said, this is something that needs to be addressed. People are guessing, or they're talking to other people about the pros and cons of being a homeowner versus renting. If you're renting and something catastrophic happens to you in your life and you can't pay your rent, you are more likely to be put out of that house that you're renting than you are to be put out of a house that you're buying. And this is why. Banks do not want to take the house from you. They want you to get back on your feet so you can continue paying the mortgage, because they want the money and not the house. Banks are in the business of handling money, not real estate. So you're more likely to have a bank work with you during some tragic part of your life and keep you in that home than a property manager or somebody that you're renting from. And this is very important. And I need to dispel some of these myths or some of these rumors. And I think by being on the HUD board, it puts me in a unique position to have some more insight on how I can better assist the average citizen in District 3 or Valdosta as a whole. And this is just one of the reasons why I hope you vote for me. Early voting is October 14th. Election day is November 5th. Get out and vote. The vote is how you control who represents you for the city.